Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I recently was on a trip to Southeast Asia. It was so beautiful. The people were so friendly and delightful. But something that I noticed was the sidewalks, the streets, the steps were very dangerous. They were very uneven. There were many trip hazards. And when you're on vacation, people are just looking around at the beautiful sights, admiring the plants, the animals, the beautiful food, the friendly people. One of the ladies on my tour actually took a tumble down a set of steps and hurt her arm while we were on our holiday. So I wanted to give you some tips on things you can think about for emergency situations, because just like that, this poor lady had a hurt arm. Lots of times we have on hand Band-Aids and gauze, things for cuts and scrapes, bumps and bruises. But if somebody really took a tumble, how can you help them right away? Because her arm was hurt. She scraped her shoulder, she scraped her elbow, she hurt her wrist. And so not only was she bleeding, but she also was injured. We were far from home, unfamiliar areas, and we don't really know for sure about trying to find immediate medical care. So we were relying on ourselves and what we could pull together temporarily to do some first aid. So my prepping priority was to make sure that I have some supplies in case that happens again. Do you have some sort of ice packs or even Ziploc bags that you could put some ice and ice your wound? That can be very important if someone gets hurt. You want to put ice on it to keep down the swelling. Do you have some type of tape or gauze or elastic bandage that you could wrap around a wrist, a knee, an ankle, something that you've twisted that needs to be held in place so that it can feel better? Do you have some type of a sling that you could immobilize somebody's arm so you could help their shoulder, their elbow, their wrist, or their hand to feel better? And if you don't have a sling, know that you could easily make one out of a pillowcase. I think though you should actually have a king size pillowcase. You want to cut your pillowcase into a square that's 40 inches square. So most pillowcases are 20 inches, so when you cut them open, then they're going to be 40, and a king size pillowcase is nearly 40 inches long. So if you cut the seams open, you would have your big square. You could put one side around your neck, lay your arm on it, then bring the other side up and tie it together so that you can immobilize your arm. So think about what you could use with the things that you have so that you could make some of these things in an emergency. Because we were all trying to figure out what could we do to make a sling to help this poor lady until she could find some proper medical care. Then if you've ever had back aches, shoulder aches, neck aches, we all get these things, whether it's just from our day-to-day life. As we get older, we just get more aches and pains. Do you have some kind of muscle rub? Maybe you even want to have something like the ultra strength skin patches that you can put on a sore spot. They might have medication, they might not, but sometimes putting heat on it can help it feel better. And then once again, sometimes when you have an injury, you want some heat and then some cold. So you would want to also make sure that you have those ice packs or a Ziploc bag that you could fill up with ice. But what you need to do is make sure that you don't just put ice on the skin. You want to put a cloth over it and then the ice so that you don't cause some freezing wound onto your skin. I made a video on how you can make your own freezer bags that have the gel in them that you can keep in your freezer for emergencies. A DIY cold pack. For this you need 2 Ziploc bags. I like these new Flex Seal bags that I found. They have a stretchy surface to them. They're designed to be more flexible, so I thought that's the perfect bag for this DIY cold pack. You need 2 bags to help prevent leaks. I place them one inside the other one before I fill it up. Add 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of isopropyl alcohol, and a big squirt of Dawn dish soap. Stir it around gently to make sure that it's mixed, and I like to set the bag into like a loaf pan to help hold it in place so it doesn't slip out and then nothing will spill. Carefully fill your inner bag, squeeze all the air out, zip up the inner bag. Now squeeze the air out of the second bag seal it up tight, and you can see it's ready to go into the freezer. It only needs about 2 hours in the freezer for it to be cold enough for you to use as a cold pack. The alcohol prevents it from freezing solid, so it's still flexible. Remember to use a soft cloth between the cold compress and your skin so that you don't make any part of your skin just too cold and uncomfortable. Store them flat in your freezer and you're ready to have them on any kind of an emergency. Maybe you want to have some hot hands or some body warmers, foot warmers, hand warmers. These are good not only for a cold weather emergency, but if you do have an ache and pain, then you want to put something on it to help it feel better, you can use one of these. Another great item to have is a heating pad. I have a regular one, and this one is a little different because this one is designed to go over your shoulders. It's extra soft and nice, and even if you're just sitting in the cold and you start to get stiff if you're working at your desk or watching TV, you can put something like this over your shoulders, put it along that edge of your back, even just put it down on your chair while you're seated, and it can help you feel better and warmer. So it's nice to have some kind of a heating pad that you can plug in and heat up. If you don't have access to electricity, you'll want a hot water bottle. These are great because you can heat up water even if your power is out. You can use your emergency stove. You can fill up your bottle, squeeze the air out, put the lid back on it, and then you have that warm water, that warm hot water bottle to help keep you warm. This one has a nice sweater type cover, and you can take the cover off and wash it. It helps it be softer, nicer, and then you just would like fold up the hot water bottle, kind of like roll it up like a hot dog, and then you can pop it out through the turtleneck and pop it back in if you wanted to wash the cover. These are great on cold nights. You can put it in there to warm up your bed. There's a lot of reasons you might want to have a hot water bottle if you're injured or if you're just cold. So think about the multiple uses for the items that you want to have with your prepping supplies. They can be for cold weather. They can also be for first aid. Try to be creative and think of as many uses as you can for the things that you have in your stockpile. Have some Epsom salt on hand. If you have an achy body, pour some Epsom salt into a warm bath and you can soak some of your aches and pains away. Some of them come with different types of essential oils or aromas. Those are especially nice if you have small children. Those can be very nice also if you want to use them with your small children, but always make sure that your bath temperature is appropriate so that you never get it too hot and you would burn yourself or your children. You might want to think about having a portable carbon monoxide detector because we're thinking all the time about what if the power goes out, what if I have to use emergency supplies. If you're going to be using any kind of an emergency stove or portable heater, anything that has a flame is going to burn up the oxygen. So you want to make sure you have a well-ventilated area and that you have a portable carbon monoxide detector that you store with those gadgets and gizmos. The last thing you want to do is give yourself carbon monoxide poisoning when you could have had a simple $10 or $20 monitor that can alert you to any danger. Something I found that I'm very excited about is a rinse-free shampoo cap. These I want to take out to granny camp because there's no running water when I go to my Alaska off-grid cabin. I do have like a portable shower, things to get clean, but this is a shampoo cap. It's like a shower cap, but it's already moistened with soap in it. You put it over your hair, you suds it around because it's already wet. You don't even have to add water, and then you just scrub it all around in your hair. Then you remove it, towel dry your hair, and it's supposed to be clean. Whether you have no water, whether it's just cold, you're camping, you're off-grid living, maybe you're bedridden or you're injured and you can't wash your hair and you can't take a shower or something, or you want to help somebody who's hurt their arm or something. You can use this without a sink, without any running water, and you can get your hair clean. To me, one of the worst things about going camping and spending a lot of time out of doors is getting the icky, dirty hair. So this would be helpful for that kind of situation, but they'd also be nice if you were hurt or you were sick in bed or something. These are the items that I wanted to share in my prepping that I worked on this week video for you. Look over first aid and think about what could you use, what can you substitute if you don't have the actual proper thing in an emergency situation. We want to be creative. It can help us smooth the way when we have all these little problems that come up. A safety tip is we really need to look where we're going. Look down at the sidewalk, look around, make sure that you're not tripping on things. Sometimes we get too excited, we're doing something new, we're not paying attention. Don't just be looking at your phone or gazing at new scenery. Check out the space ahead of you so that you're not tripping on anything that could help then prevent you from having an accident and help your day be better without causing yourself some kind of a stressful emergency. Leave it in the comments below. What other items are you adding into your first aid and your emergency gear so that we can make sure we can face those struggles ahead? I hope you'll like my video, share it with someone else you think might enjoy it, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.